This is my friend's Specialized Elez road bike. He asked me to sell it for him after he was unsuccessful selling it himself. While I work on the bike, let's review where he went wrong and what I did differently to successfully sell this bike for him. For some background, he bought this entry-level road bike from a local sporting goods store for around $550 in 2008. He rode it for one summer and put it away in his garage, never to see the light of day again. The bike was dirty, had flat tires, and looked exactly what you think a bike sitting in the back of a garage for about 15 years would look like. He listed the bike on Facebook Marketplace for $400 and waited several weeks without an interested buyer. He did several things wrong. First, he didn't take any time to do the tiniest amount of work to improve the condition of his bike. At the very least, he should have filled the tires with air. Secondly, in his Facebook Marketplace ad, he only had one poor quality photo of the bike sitting in the back of his garage, and the only detail he listed about the bike was the tires needed air. Lastly, he had an unrealistic expectation of what he could sell the bike for. He listed the bike for $400. In contrast, let's see how to do this correctly. You can already see I'm working on the first step. I'm taking my time to make sure the bike looks and works as good as it can. This is probably the most important step. When buyers see the bike all shiny and working well, it gives them a positive feeling about the bike. Next, I did some research to figure out what this bike should really sell for. My first stop was BicycleBlueBook.com. This tells me that his bike in excellent condition should sell private party for around $200. Secondly, I need to assess the local market and make sure there are no similar bikes priced way lower or higher than that price. It's the beginning of October here, so there's little competition at this point, so I decided to list the bike for $275 in hopes someone would bite. The $275 price seems a bit high, but gives a buyer room for some negotiations. Now that the bike is in excellent condition and I know the market, it's time to list the bike on Facebook Marketplace. I start by taking several high-quality photos of the bike in good light. It's best to do this in direct sunlight. I take one or two good photos from the side to capture the entire bike. I take a photo of the drivetrain, I take a photo of the sizing on the seat tube, and finally, I take a few photos from different angles. When I'm satisfied with the photos, I move on to the description. In the description, I make sure to list the following: brand and model of the bike, including the year if known. State that the bike is in good as new condition and ready to ride. List any new parts that were installed. List the wheel and tire size. List how many gears the bike has. And finally, give an estimate of how tall of a rider would fit this bike. With that, I posted the bike on Facebook Marketplace, and within a day I had an interested buyer. We arranged to meet the following morning. He looked the bike over and took several laps around the parking lot. He had lots of questions for me about the bike, and I answered them as best I could. We haggled back and forth on the price, and we finally settled at $240 for the bike. He was happy, my friend was happy, and my wife would be happy that yet another bike was out of the house. To review, here are the successful steps on selling your bicycle on Facebook Marketplace. First, clean and service your bike to the best of your ability. Make it as close to as new as possible. Secondly, create a detailed Facebook Marketplace ad. Provide good photos and a good description. Lastly, price the bike reasonably. Use resources like BicycleBlueBook.com and check your market for bikes similar to yours to get a feel for the market. Good luck selling your bicycles on Facebook Marketplace. If you enjoyed this video, give that thumbs up button some love and subscribe for more bicycle flipping content.